Coach Lynn. And if you don't know me already, I'm your Certified Master Life Executive Coach. Candy Glickman has been sponsoring a luncheon for a lot of wonderful women called the Witches of Whimsy Luncheon every year around the time of Halloween, where all the women dress up like witches. It's a lot of fun. But this year she decided to make it an event where she would be donating something.
The gals of my luncheon who donated money and items from your wish list, and we had one member, Justin and Mike Lamb, who donated $500, and Microsoft was the one that matched their donation. And so I have a few checks that total $750 today, and also there's 4 gift cards. I'm not quite sure what the denominations are, but I'm sure that you'll be able to put that to some wonderful use.
Oh, well, we thank you so much.
Oh,
That's
it-
awesome.
It is just our pleasure. We're so happy to be able to help out, and now that we've learned more about Safe House, it really touches our hearts, and we just commend you for all that you do and how long you've been here. That really speaks volumes. You're doing wonderful work here, and we want to continue working with you, and hopefully we can plan a bigger event together so that we could really make an impact.
Yes, well, I believe that we will be doing that as we speak. We're already turning wheels on something new, so
How exciting.
we're
Something I've
very
always
excited,
wanted to
and I
do.
think that the possibility to reach new donors and new
Yes.
voices and new thoughts of people that haven't been exposed to us before is very exciting for us.
This is going to be really exciting. And just with my event, there's a lot of people that we would like to invite, but we've had to keep it limited because of venue spacing. So I have a whole address book of witches that would love to take part of this. They were so grateful to be able to donate to Safe House and be a part of something like this. I've been doing this for 10 years, and it was the first time. It was always just a social luncheon, and I said, let's make this a charitable event too. And everybody was just so excited about that. And so now here we are.
I know. We're very excited, and thank you and the witches so much for thinking of us and for walking for us and being whimsical for us.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am so excited to be here. I'm Coach Lynn from ABC News Radio, and I feel it's such a privilege for me to be here today. I am at Safe House of the Desert. How was I brought here to you beautiful people? Well, my dear friend Candy Glickman brought me into a luncheon of witches. And we're dropping off donations today. But let me tell you a little bit about this place first of all. You know, it seems like, remember a long time ago when I was a child, I'm not going to say how long ago that was, a long time ago, the whole neighborhood helped to raise me. You know, if I did something on the corner or if I was in distress, by the time I got home, 3 neighbors were walking down the block to make sure I was okay. And not only that, but there was a sense of community around me that helped to raise me. Unfortunately, that's not the story for everyone. And some people find themselves on the street, homeless, addicted, trafficked by human trafficking, raped, discouraged, suicidal, and dead. So it's very important that we all take a moment to think about how important intervention is. It's not just a bunch of heroes. There's a lot of work that goes into being a hero, and money, and donations, and conversations. So join us today for a conversation that hopefully will change your life and just might save someone else's.
I'm Julie, and I am the Eastern Regional Director of Safe House of the Desert.
And when you say Eastern, does that mean there are more places as well?
Yes, we have Operation Safe House that's located in Riverside, and that was kind of the original Safe House. So
I had a tour of this facility, and I love it. Being a certified master life executive coach, I can see the difference from the minute you walk in the door, the restful colors. You've incorporated things that the kids themselves have made. There's art. There's also, what you're going to find is there's partnerships. So you see a lot of things that others have donated, whether it's looking to School of Arts. However, it's so important, like the witches, And Candy was also all about that. We had so much fun getting everything ready for you guys. And she is doing this from her heart. And that's what we all need. Someone who believes in something from their heart and gives back.
I'm Brigitte Phillips. I'm the Outreach Safe Place Coordinator here at Safe House of the Desert.
So when you say the outreach coordinator, what does that mean?
So I go out into middle schools, high schools, and I do a lot of presentations throughout the community. Also with being the Safe Place Site Coordinator, I have all 18 McDonald's here that are a safe place site, and what that means is you can go to a McDonald's and say, I'm here because I need help. So the person there would get their name, their age, call us at Safe House and we'll come pick them up. I also have Sunline Bus. Yeah, Sunline Bus has 86 buses that are a safe place mobile site. And how that works is a youth comes on the bus, tells the bus driver that they need to get to Safe House. The bus driver will then call dispatch, and dispatch will pick up that youth from the route and bring them to Safe House.
When you say Safe House, it means that some of the children who are coming here, or the teens who are coming here, literally need to be here with anonymity. Why is that?
You know, a lot of kids out there, they have problems and they don't have anywhere to turn. And, you know, doing class presentations, after our presentation, we'll say, so if you guys had a friend that came up to you and asked for help, you could now have them come to Safe House because you could only do so much. And, we have a lot of kids that couch surf. And this is a good way for them to come here because we'll help them with whatever their problems are. And two, a lot of kids come to us because it's a family problem. So the family gets counseled as well. Because our mission is to get them back home as long as they're not sexually or physically abused.
But some people might say, what is this, a couch surf? Is that something brand new? What is couch surfing? And please tell us who you are.
My name is Sean, and I'm the Director of Youth Services for Safe House. Couch surfing is when a young person goes from one environment to another, constantly shifting, sleeping on someone's couch, just whatever space they can get in that particular home.
And they're not in the foster care system.
No.
So there's nothing that's actually keeping the people accountable where they're surfing. So all types of emergencies happen to these kids when they're in those environments.
Yeah, we see the kids that kind of slip through the cracks of the foster care system. They have made reports, they are afraid to go home, and it's not quite enough for them to be removed. But it's also not safe enough for them to be there.
That sounds like a big problem. Because one thing that we noticed during COVID especially, during quarantine, you would hope that all the children who are at home are being fed properly. You would hope that they're being supervised. You would hope that someone there cares about them. Sometimes as a parent or a guardian, you're stressed out because it's COVID, you've lost your job, you don't have enough money. But taking it out on your children is not the right way to go. So for those kids who have had to endure that during COVID and because of COVID, and those who show up to school to be fed every day, and they're not being fed every day, what do you say to someone who's listening and thinking, oh my God, I never even realized that was a problem?
I'm here to tell you that it is a problem, and that some of our kids, their haven has been at school. It's been the ability to have that guidance counselor that knows their story, to be able to go in and they know exactly what's going on with them, and have some sense of peace in that environment. And that environment gets removed, the crisis increases. They are at home more with that potentially abusive parent. So law enforcement is more active in these communities and these families, more so than they would normally be.
Let's talk about that, because I recently did a show because it was about Gabby Petito and Brand Laundry, and I asked my audience, if there are no bruises, if you don't see someone hit someone, can you identify someone who's being abused? It was 50-50. And this was from 100 countries all over the world. So let's talk about that for a moment, because it really is important that not just our first responders, but all of us can actually identify a kid who might be abused.
Well, that's actually a kind of a difficult question to answer because it is sometimes hard to tell just on the surface if you're out with that person in the community, if you run across a kid that's, say, hanging out at the McDonald's or the mall. Yes, you're correct that you don't see the bruises. So sometimes it takes multiple conversations. We have a street outreach program that goes out, and their outreach goes all the way to the end of the county. They have to try and build their trust, and they do it by observing them out daily.
So what might you observe?
If you see a kid in our culture that is hoarding food, have a snack period, and this kid is grabbing snacks, taking them to their room, that tells you something about the environment that they come from. There's no physical bruises or anything like that. If you have a kid that is doesn't like to be around male staff. Staff are kids that don't like to be in the rooms by themselves at night. They want a night light. That's also an indicator that something may not be okay at home.
If you feel that there's a child and you see multiple bruises or scratches, he comes to school and he's very quiet and maybe isolates himself from other children, and you just have a feeling that something isn't okay. What would you tell a teacher or a counselor to do about that?
I do the class presentations. Well, that's really interesting because a lot of times when I do a class presentation, you could see the body language as someone's starting to get really uncomfortable with what I'm talking about. And a lot of times that child will come up to me after the class steps out and talks to me about what's going on. But also I'll talk to that teacher too if they don't come up to me and I'm like, I noticed, body changing and their heads down. And they said, there is something going on in the home with that youth. It takes a while, but they will end up coming to Safe House. And they thank us for being there to do the presentation because a lot of times they don't know where they can go.
Imagine being a child. Imagine wanting to have someone help you. And we live in a society where, they're not everything is virtual these days.
Yes.
So they're not really accustomed to that one-on-one kind of, hi, how are you, hugs and all that, because everything that they're doing is social media, and it kind of takes them away from being able to identify on a personal level or on a physical level. But until you're an adult, we want you to know that there's a place you can go that is safe. People who are trained, people who do care. So let's talk to those kids right now who might be listening to this and they're thinking, there's no way can I trust them? What do you say about trust?
Well, I believe that we've built a very trusting environment. We have over 31 years of experience working with youth, working with the specific age group that we help here. Everyone here is highly trained and knows how to, work with each youth at their level. So if there's a youth that, needs more care or less care, we have training staff that cares about these youth that will work with them.
This is so important.
They also receive, they can do counseling, they can do group counseling, they can do art. We have recreation. They can go out and play corn toss and talk about their problems. They can go draw on the sidewalk. They can do music. We have all kinds of exciting things that they can do here that isn't just like an institution, which I believe a lot of kids think when they hear Safe House. They think, oh, it's a shelter, it's an institution.
Right.
And it's not. It's a very home-like feeling. We have, most of our staff has been here 20 years or more.
Wow.
Everybody, really cares about what we're doing and who we're serving. And, we just want to make everything safe for each youth that comes in here so that they feel.
That warms my heart. Please join us for part 2 of Safe House of the Desert.